So my screen is visible, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, fine. So in today's class, we will see how we can validate the data that is entered into the system, and we will see some works on exception handling as well. That is error handling. When error comes while our program works, how we are going to handle that, we will see. Okay. So errors, before moving to errors, I would like to show you the data validation part. We can see some examples, and then we can move on to exception handling. So for that, let me straight away go to our project and show you practically. So let me create a project. This is going to be a .NET Framework project. Let me save this inside my course folder. Okay. So let's choose a project. Data validation, and error handling. Okay, data validation. We'll keep it. Name shows an error. What is that canister? Let's try this out. Fine. So dots cannot be there in the project name. Excuse me. So I have created a project, and let me rename this. I'm selecting the form, and then I'm giving a name for that form. Let's give a data validation. Okay, empty. Check empty. Okay, check empty. Yeah, of course. So in this project, we will see to small example. We will see the purpose of this program will be to create a small project, and we'll see how it works. So we are going to have a small. Why is this? And size. So we are going to have a small form like this. Why still size is not enough? Huh? Fine. So we are going to have a form, and this form will have two text boxes, three text boxes. So here we will have number 1 and number 2, and then result. Okay, small one. So the purpose of this program is to enter a value here as for number 1, and here and number 2, and divide the result. Divide. Okay, we will have a button to divide. So results will come as 2. So when people fail to enter some values here, or when we fail to enter a value here, you will see error message. Okay, because the program will try to see the values from these text boxes, and if there is no value, it will give you an error. It will throw an error. It generates error. Okay, so we will see how we can anticipate these kinds of errors and handle this. Okay, so here we are going to have 3 text boxes, 3 labels, and here we have 3 text boxes. So let me align this. Let me select this and align this. So let me fold this. I'm pressing F4 on the keyboard. I'm switching off my video. Okay. I'm going to give a text for this. First number. and then second number and results. Fine. Here I'm going to have a first number text box. This will be a second number text box. This is going to be a results text box. Okay. So here we are going to have the button as a divide button. That's smaller. So I'm making this a little compact so that it looks more beautiful. Okay. Fine. Let's give this form a value. Check empty. So well, so I'm going to view and the tab order. Yes, 1, 2, 3. Toggle this off. And for this text box, we don't have to have this tab order. So tab index, tab stop false. Save the work and run the project. So here we have this. We have to give a button X divide. Okay, divide. So let's go inside this button, and we will give the code. Okay, give the code. Let us give a outside bytes first, second, third. Okay. So let's have decimal. Decimal, because if it divides, there will be decimal places. So we're going to have first equal decimal dot pass first text box dot text. Second equal decimal dot pass second text box dot text. Fine. So third, in a sense, we will call it result. Okay, result. So result equal first divided by second. Results text box, we are showing the output, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, text box dot text equal results to string. We are converting it to string, and we can have a number format. So n. Fine. So let's run this, save the works, and let's run this. I'm giving 100. Here I'm giving 50. This is going to show 2. Okay. If I give 1,000, it's going to show 20. If I give 10,000, it's going to give 200. So it works fine. Now, let me delete this. Give me a while, give me a while.
Yo, juga මොකද්ද කරන්නේ යන්නේ? එල්ලම් කරන්න එපා මෙතන අරහෙලි ගිහිල්ලා ගහන්න.
Okay, let's assume there was noise outside, that's why. You can hear me, right?
Yes, sir.
You're fine. So I have deleted this text inside this text box, and I'm going to click on this button. You will get error. Okay. So it is showing us system.format exception. So exception means the error generated. Input string was not in the correct format, because the string value that we gave in this text box is not in the correct format. In a sense, it is missing, or it may be a text value like that. So we have to check if that value is available. Okay. So what we can do is we can stop this. First, we have to check if first text box dot text equals empty. Okay. If it is empty, what we have to do? We have to show a message box. Okay. Message box. We can give a message like text box empty, value not given. Okay. And we can have a common format error, and we can see message box button, comma, message box button dot OK button, and the message box icon, message box icon dot error icon. Okay. Else, otherwise, assign this value. Okay, assign this value. Let's check how it works. 53. Okay, fine. Empty. It is showing an error. Value not given. Okay. So we have to bring back the cursor to this text box. First text box. Dot focus. Okay. Fine. So it is still showing an error. So what I can do is I can say return. Let's see what happens. Fine. It returns. So it won't go further. Similarly, we can check the, you can understand, right? It is testing whether it is blank. Okay. You can understand, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, fine. Because we are testing before assigning the value to this variable. We are checking using an if condition whether the text box is empty. If there is no value, if it is empty, we are showing a message box telling the user that you have not given any value, and then we are bringing back this focus to the text box, and then we are using the return keyword to return without going further. If it is okay, if it is not true, if there is any value, so we can assign the value here. Similarly, we can do the same for this second text box. Okay. So here it is a second text box, and this value second equal, it comes here. Okay, fine. Okay, value not given. Okay, value not given. If both are given, it divides. So this is how we check if there is a value available or not. The same can done using another method. Okay. Any doubts? Any doubts here?
No, sir.
Yeah,
No, sir.
fine.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So let me add another button. Okay. So I'm going to check empty. Check empty button. Empty. So using another method. Empty. We can use the same code to divide knowledge. Okay. Fine. So here also I'm going to use the same decimal first second results. Okay. So here copy and paste. This is fine. Okay. So before checking like this, what I can do is I can use string classes. String classes is null. Okay, is null or empty. There is a method is null or empty. It checks whether the control has null value or empty value. So we know about null value. Null value means unknown value or empty. Which one is empty? First checkbox, text box, not text. It's equal to empty. If it is empty or null value, what to do? Do this all. Do this all. Okay. Otherwise, the same. Otherwise, the same. So if it's going to check, the string class is going to check whether the value inside this text box is empty or null value. Null means unknown values or blank. If it is blank or unknown, we have to make sure the program does not progress further. If it is not empty, we can assign the value. Okay. The same applies for the next text box. Second text box. If the second text box, we are going to check second text box also. Else we're going to say second equal. Second equal. Fine. Okay. So let's run this and see if it works. By the way, if you click this button, because it is outside the scope of this, so this method can use the same, and this method can also use the same. Say for example, you are clicking on this first button, automatically this will assign the value to these variables. Okay, so please don't get confused. We are, for the learning purpose only, we are using the same form and same buttons. Okay, same code, right? So we use these is null method, is empty or null, is null or empty method to check if it is a string value or not. Okay. So next one, what we can see is we can check. First, we have checked whether it is empty value or not. So again, let me run this. I'm going to give 1500 and I'm going to give something text value. With some text values. It is showing error. Okay, because it is looking for a decimal numeric value. We have given letter text value. Okay. So that will throw error. If it is empty, it can capture. So if it is empty, it can capture the error. Fine. But if it is text value, it is not empty, but it is not in the format that we are looking for. Okay. It must be a numeric value. So in that case, we have to capture whether it is a numeric or not. Okay, so rather than doing that, what we can do is we can make sure the value that is entered is only numbers. Okay, the value that we enter is it contains numbers. Okay, so we will see how we can make sure the values entered is a number. Okay, so wait for a while. I'm stopping this. So when somebody types something, okay, if someone is typing a value like 5, okay, that is called key press event. Key press event. Okay, so in the key press event, we can check whether the value entered is a number. Okay, otherwise it will not allow. Okay, so I'm going to its events. I click on this text box. I'm clicking on this flash icon, and I can see the relevant methods or events associated with this text box. Okay, if I click on form, the events are different. If I click on button, the events may be different. There may be similar events. So this is click event. Already we have a program for this. Click event we have already programmed for this. But in the case of text box, we didn't program anything. So we have to go to its key press event. Okay, key press. So it contains key down and key up. Both of them together is called key press event. Key down means when you press the key on the keyboard, when the key goes down on the keyboard, it is called key down. Key up means when you release the key on the keyboard, it is called key up. But key press means both down and up together, and when the character is entered, that's called key press. In the key press event, you can see key press even args. Okay, key press even args. It means it specifies the character that is composed when the user press the key. Okay, it specifies the character that is composed when the user presses a key on the keyboard. Okay, so for example, when the user presses a key on the keyboard, K, character K on the keyboard, it returns a character, right? It returns the key press even returns you the character, actually key character. Key character. Okay, this returns the key K. Okay, on the keyboard. So we will program this. If so, single character stands for char. If it is a collection of characters, it is string. We are going to check individual characters. So char. Okay, if char is number. Okay, is number. If it is number, okay, e dot key char. Okay, so it composes the key press, and the e returns key character returns the character. So if the character returns, is a numeric value, if the character returned is a numeric value, e dot handled. Okay, e dot handled means if you set this to false. Okay, if you set this to false, it cancels no, wait, let me complete this else. Okay, if you set this to true, the character that you entered will be cancelled. Okay, the character you entered will be cancelled. If you set this to false, it will accept the character. So here we are typing the character 1. So it checks whether it is a 1 means the character returned by the key press event. So it is represented by e.keychar. And if it is numeric value, it is accepted. Why is this? Fine. Okay. So let's check this. Start. I am pressing 1 on the keyboard. 1, 2, 3. And then I am typing A, B, C. A, B, C. Can you hear the keyboard noise?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, because it is not accepted. Because if I type number, it is allowed. Okay. If I type number, it is allowed. But if I type a letter, it is not allowed. If I type a character like percentage sign, dash, it is not accepted. Why? The key press event, it means the key up and key down. This event is fired when you type something on the keyboard, which means keyboard key is pressed. Okay, key down and key up together is called key press event, and it has an argument key press event args. So it specifies the character that is composed when the user presses a key. Okay, so it's like a data type, right? It's like a data type, and we are giving a variable name as E. Okay, and whenever you press a key on the keyboard, the key character, the key char or key character, it returns the key. So this event args returns a key character. If that key character is a numeric value, e.handled is false. So it will be accepted. Handled is false, mean handled to equals to false means it will be accepted. Handled equal to true means it will be rejected, cancelled. Okay, that's the meaning of it. Like that, okay, like that, we go to second text box and we are going to its key press event. And here also we are going to check if char dot is numeric, is number, e dot keychar. E dot handled equal else e dot handled equal true. Else means if it is not a number, cancel it. Okay, it won't allow. It won't allow. Okay. Say for example, you have a text box. You have a text box that is looking for a text value. Okay, maybe a person's name, a person's first name. Okay, a person's name. And text box name is the name text box. Okay. So first name, can a first name contain number? Can your name contain numbers?
No, sir.
No. So we have to make sure it is a letter. Okay, it is a letter, not number. So in that case, we can use is letter. Okay, is letter. If char dot is letter, okay, is letter, e dot char and e equal false. Else e dot handle equal. I'm pressing on 1. If I press something else, it is accepted. I'm pressing on character now. Percentage sign, they are not working. Only letters are allowed. Okay, and in some instances you can see letters and numbers. Letters and numbers means maybe national identity card number, only letters and numbers. Okay, in those instances we have is letter or digit. Okay, is letter or digit. It allows only letters and digits. Okay, so that's how we use this. Any questions? Any question? Please ask.
No, sir.
Sir, if we type symbols, how can we do it, sir?
Symbols.
Yes, sir.
See, if you are going to allow symbols, you can allow anything, no? Let's check anyways. Punctuation is there, separator is there, symbol, right? Yes. But symbol is available, but if you are going to allow symbols, you can allow text and anything, right? Yes or no? So there won't be any instances where symbols only allowed. I don't think so, but it is available. Excuse me. Right? So usually we check for numbers and text and whether it is empty or not. These are the usual tests we do, right? These are the usual ones we do. And in some instances, say for example, we are declaring as bytes. Okay, bytes. And let's see what happens. Where is that? So without deleting, we can enter. I'll paste it. It's a byte. Let's do this 15 and 15. Not divide, it is add. Add. It is showing 1. 15 plus 15 is going to be 13 or 5. Earlier it is dividing. It is dividing, right? So let us add this. 15 plus 15, 30. Okay, it is fine. So if I say 155, it works. If I say 1155, it shows an error because the range of byte is 255. Maximum value is 255. So if we go beyond that, it will there will be data conversion problem. So it is showing overflow exception because the amount of the value allowed is less, but you are going to assign a big value. You might remember these two buckets. So this is this contains only up to 255, but we are trying to put something bigger into this. Okay, so that's not possible. That's why that error is coming. Excuse me. In those instances, we have to make sure the value entered is less than or within the range. Okay, within the range. So here, before assigning that, before assigning the value, I'm cutting this. here comes validations. Before assigning the value, what we have to do, we have to check if excuse me. First, we are checking whether it is not empty, and then we are going to check whether it's going to be a good example. We have to check the range. So rather than going this, we can check another example. Okay, we will see. Before doing this, because it won't be assigned. Before assigning the error, you will get the error. Before assigning, you will get the error. So to check the range, we will see a different example. Okay, so we will see a different example. See. See, for example, we can assign a percentage sign, a percentage, maybe. Let me add the project, okay, to show this. That example will not work because thing is we are going to assign the value, okay. We are going to assign the value. While assigning the value, automatically the error will come. Because if I enter 1000, and if I try to assign, automatically the error will come, okay. So to check the range, we will see a different example. Windows 4. Check range. Okay, check range. What we can do is we can get these three controls and paste. Okay. So here, sales amount. Here we can say commission rates, and then commission amount. Okay. So sales text box. This is going to calculate the commission. Okay. Sales text box. Rate text box, and amount text box. So here we are going to say calculate. Excuse me. Calculate. So we are going to check the range. Okay. So here let me. You can check the all other. You can do all other checks like this here also, but I'm going to specifically show you this decimal. Sales rate amount. Okay. So sales equal decimal dot pass sales text box dot text. Fine. Rate equal decimal dot pass rate text box dot text, and amount equal excuse me, amount equal sales multiplied by rates and divided by 100. So this is going to calculate the commission amount. Amount text box text equal amount to string. number. Fine. So here I'm going to change this range. Check range. Okay. Now I'm going to run this. So if I say 10,000 and commission rate 10%, so it's calculate 1,000 rupees. Okay, 1,000 as the commission. If I say 5%, it's going to calculate it is 5. But the problem is, if somebody says instead of while typing 10 or 10, somebody types 1,000 mistakenly. So commission rate cannot be 1,000 rupees, 1,000%. Okay, commission rate cannot be in 1,000%. So let's further modify this. Okay, in percentage we are asking the person is entering the sales amount 100,000 and commission rate instead of 5%. He is typing 500% mistakenly. So it cannot be like that. So we have to check this range as well. We have to make sure the rate is above or equal to 0 or above and less than or equal to 100. So we have to check the range as well. In that case, we are going to have this check. Okay. If rate, okay, if rate greater than 0, okay, greater than 0, or rate less than or equal to 100, you can go up to 100. Okay, you can go up to 100. Then only we have to calculate. Okay, then only we have to calculate. It is showing error for this because it is inside a block, this amount. So what I can do is I can click, drag and drop outside. Okay, so that this red baby line disappears. Okay, fine. Otherwise we can display a message. The so we can go the other way as well. If the rate is less than or equal to 0, less than or equal to 0, and greater than or equal greater than 100. Okay, we can display a message. You can say rate cannot be rate outside the range 0 to 100. Else, otherwise, do this process. Let's check this out. 1,000, 5%, fine. 50%, fine. 500%. It is showing this error message. So it cannot be. Okay, it cannot be. So if I enter minus 15, again 15, it works. Okay, this is how we check for ranges. You have to do other checks also. At the same time, you have to check the range as well. So you have to make sure the person enters a numeric value. He is not entering any text value. He is not entering any characters like that. You have to check all of the. You have to do all of the checks. At the same time, you have to check this range as well, because this will not show any error. It will calculate. Okay, so you have to make sure you do this range test as well. Fine. So any doubts? Any doubt? Any question? Please ask any question if you have. You can ask any question if you have. You can hear me, right? All of you?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So if I ask if you have any doubt, you just answer me. Maybe confusing because this is the first time you are getting something different. Give me a second. Huh? So sometimes we will not be able to anticipate the errors. So we can hand this over to the program itself, to Visual Studio itself, so that it can catch those errors and display as the what kind of error is going. Maybe as I told, the format exception. Exception means the errors are generated by the program. So format exception, the program may be looking for numeric values, and we may be entering text values. Excuse me, text values. That is one, and we may be looking for values less than 255 like that for bytes, and the values that we enter may be 1,000 or 10,000 or maybe beyond the range. That may be another possible error. Another error may be divide a number by 0. So at that time there will be an error. So these kinds of errors can be handled by the program when you use the try-catch block. Okay, there is something called that is a try-catch block. So let me share the screen and so exception you can go through this, right? I'll share the handout so that you can go through them. So try-catch block you can use. So it's a syntax for structured exception handling. Okay, so we give the code to run here within the try block, and whenever there is a error, the catch block will show us the error. And finally, code it runs whether you have errors or not. The final code will run. Okay, so most of the time we will have this try and catch blocks. For these, to explain these, I can come out with another example. So let me go here. So we can use a. Can we use this example? No, no need. Try catch. Okay, try catch example, and we can use a program to calculate interest amount or something similar like this. Anyways, we can use. Okay. So here we have this is a sales text box, and this is rate text box, and the other one is amount text box. Here we have a calculate button. So we can use this try catch. Okay. So let's declare a variable outside maybe or inside. Okay, fine. Decimal, sales, rate, amount. Similar ones, huh? Amount, similar ones. So sales equal decimal to parse sales text box with text. Fine. Rate equal decimal dot parse rate text box dot text. And amount equal sales multiplied by rate and divided by 100. Now we are going to show it. Amount text box. Text equal amount to string. Maybe number. Fine. Up to this point, any problem? Any doubts? No doubts, right?
No, sir.
Fine. So let's run this first. Maybe 15,000 and 10% commission. Okay, 1,500. If I enter some other values, gone. Okay, so we can use try. Okay, try this, buddy. Copy and cut and paste. Try. Okay, and we will get out of this first. Catch. If there is any error, just catch and inbox. I'm going to say error occurred. Error. Message box button. Okay. Message box icon. Dot error. Fine. Let's run this. So we are going to try this out. If there's any error, this message box will be displayed. 15,000, 10%, no problem. If I say like this, there is problem. So it just shows us a message box, but the program will not terminate. The program will not terminate. I'm cutting this, I'm pasting, and I'm commenting this out. Let's try this. 15,000, 10%, it works. But if I say like this, if I click on this, automatically the program will pause, right? You can't progress further with the program. You have to stop and correct it. But if you have this inside this try block, if you have this inside this try block, there is any problem, it shows the error, but the program does not terminate. Okay, the program will not terminate. This is a general errors, right? We are going to give, we are giving a generic message, but we don't know what kind of error it is. Okay, what kind of error it is, we don't know. Okay, so what we can do is we can have this exception. We can say X. Okay, so it is an exception, and instead of this message, we can say X dot message. Okay, this object will return a message. It will say what kind of error it is. Okay, so we have 15,000. It says string input string was not in the correct format. Fine. So let's say it is 15%. It works. Fine. If I divide it by 0%, it's 0. Okay, no errors. It is not showing any errors. If I say something else, it is not in the correct format. Okay. So if I say 15 point, not in correct format. Okay. Let's say delete this. If I say 15,000 and 10% division by 0, no calculation. Right? Attempt to divide by 0. Division by 0 is an error. So it is showing attempted to divide by 0. So you can see the errors displaying. Okay. And further, you can customize these. Maybe you can have a label here. You can have a label here, and we can see results label, and we can auto size to false. Font also we can have. Back color, kind of gray, and fore color maybe white. So now we can see results label to text equal exception dot message. Run this. See? If I divide by 0, so let's get out of this text. Format, different format. Format is different. And if I put it correctly, and if I go to divide it by 0, attempt to divide by 0, the same message can be displayed. Okay. And further overflow exception can be a byte and byte. It's a different example. Huh? Okay, so we will see overflow exception. If it is 100, 50, and 100, it works. 105, it works. 106, no, it is int, no. So if I say 1500, the value was either too large or too small for the unsigned byte. So the unsigned byte is 255, can accommodate up to 255, no, 256, 0 to 256. And we are trying to assign 1500. So it is beyond that capacity. So it is showing the overflow exception. Okay, it is called overflow exception, right? So this is how we can check exceptions. Finally, keyword also we can see. This is finally code. Okay. See, so the finally it works. Okay, the finally block will work. But if there is an error, see, finally will work. So maybe even though there is an error, if you want something to be executed, you can use this finally key block. If there's an error also, you have to do some, you have to make sure some code are working. At that time, you can use a finally keyword. Okay. So that's how we catch errors. So any questions, any doubts? Any doubts?
No, sir.
Yeah, please, some of you might not be able to catch what we have covered. So please go through the video that I will share. It's recording, I think. Yeah, I will share today's video. Please practice, and also you can read my lecture material, the lecture slides. Also, you can use YouTube for learning about these errors. There is something called regex. Okay, regex. That is regular expressions we call. You can search in that's called regex. Okay, regular expressions. We call it regular expressions. Okay, regex. Regular expressions. To regular expression. Okay, to learn. It contains symbols. So let me show you something. That is also used for data validation, kind of thing like that. Takes time up. Okay, you can learn that as well. Here we have a form. So you can see here the regular expressions are created for employee ID, maybe in one format, first name maybe in a format, last name in a format, and email addresses, numbers in one format, email addresses maybe different format. So all of them can be checked using these regular expressions. So please learn about regular expressions as well. Say for example, I wanted to have this as an assignment, but I thought it may be difficult for you. Sometimes students don't like. So if I try to add something without entering any ID, it shows like this. Okay. So here we have if I put in a different format, it won't allow. Okay, it won't allow. So this can be checked using regular expressions. So here we have given a format how these NIC number or employee ID has to be. So in there, if there is a format, for example, email address should have its sign and maybe a domain at the end like that. You can use these, right? And these regex are available as a library as well. So latest web development platform, they don't write code like this. They purchase these services and they link the library so that it can work. Right, third-party tools are available for regex. So that is also you have to be aware of. So please learn about these things if you want to progress through. It doesn't matter whether you are going to develop Windows applications or web applications. Doesn't have any difference, but for this data validation, because the concepts are same. Okay. So that's what I wanted to have today. And in next class we will start database. Okay. Any questions?
Sir?
Yeah.
Sir, could you share that check empty design code, sir? Because it was going downside.
Today's code.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
I will share that what we call the project. I will share the project. I will upload the project. Wait for a while. I have the project in a. I have all of these. Wait. Close these. And so data validation project. So this code is available. The sample code is available now on the VL. Yeah.
Okay, sir.
Okay.
Okay,
Fine.
sir.
Fine. So you can download it. Anything else? Shall we wind up?
Okay, sir.
Fine. So we will meet in the next class.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.